Peace, 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 everyone. Today is Friday. Happy Holy Day. It is your girl, Empress ShayMarie. Grand evening to everyone. I see y'all coming on in. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all enter. Thank you. So we're back for another continuation of the read, the 0%. And we're going to be picking up on chapter 7 today, which we'll be talking about nationality, which is highly important. So come on in, everyone. Hit the like button. Let me see y'all thumbs up. How's everyone doing? I'm going to allow a few minutes for some more individuals to come in. And then we'll get started at about 5 after the hour. Thank y'all for the likes. Good evening, Cherry Ann. Good evening. How are you, love? Grand evening, Mother Vicky. Hope you're feeling better. All right. So I see y'all coming on in the room. Welcome, 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 welcome. Or as I would like to say, welcome. Peace to you, Don Ross. Thank y'all for joining me this evening. Share this video if it is your desire to. If it is your will to continue spreading knowledge and understanding and wisdom and truth, please share. So I decided to come on this evening just to see what type of viewership I would get. Peace and love, Mr. Zachary Giles, or Giles Zachary. I don't want to butcher your name. Giles Zachary Shaman McLeod. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We're about to get this stuff started in about less than 50 seconds. All right. I hope you all are checking out all of my resources that I'm putting in the description area of the video. As well as if you'd like to make a donation, feel free to hit my Cash App up. I got a Cash App now. All of a sudden, my brain just was like, aha, today. So I have the Cash App now, everyone. So those who'd like to make a donation of any amount is greatly appreciated. You can definitely do so. It is my goal to continue being able to reach more people, reach more hearts and minds of people to wake the people up. So that is really my main purpose of doing these readings consistently, and as well as I explained to you guys before, it's easier for me to be able to just read out loud. So I'm like, if I'm going to be reading out loud, and I might as well do it on my channel instead of me just like in a room reading out loud and nobody's listening but myself, of course. But everybody needs to hear this, so why not bring it to the world? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The 0%, chapter 7, nationality. Okay, so it says the term national means a person owing permanent allegiance to a state according to Title 8, Chapter 12, Immigration and Nationality, USC, subsection 1101A21. To reach the 0% tax bracket, a person must realize that they cannot be anything other than a national listed in the government system. The terms American Indian, Black, Negro, or African American, White or Caucasian, Pacific Islander, Hispanic, or Latino, etc., cannot be used with the nationals listing. Every state has codified in their libraries the slave laws. Taking a look at Georgia's slave laws, titled A Codification of the Statute Law of Georgia, including the English Statute of Force in 4 parts, compiled, digested, and arranged by William A. Hotchkiss by the authority of the legislator state. 46. Jurisdiction of inferior courts. The inferior courts of the several counties of this state shall have jurisdiction of the several offenses. I'm sorry, I was trying to adjust the volume on this background music. Got a little distracted. Okay, let me start all over. It says 46, jurisdiction of inferior courts. The inferior courts of the several counties of this state shall have jurisdiction of the several offenses created or mentioned by this act in all cases in which by the Constitution of the state jurisdiction may be entertained by them. 47. Exception in favor of Aborigines, Moors, and Hindus. The prohibitions, and penalties of this act shall not extend to all or to any American Indian, free, Moor, or Lascar, but the burden of proof in all cases of arrest of any person of color shall be on such person of color to show him or herself exempt from the operations of this act. Chapter 33, Free Persons of Color. Article 2, Disability of Free Persons of Color. Many people believe American Indian is the right nationality to assume. Still, as Georgia's slave laws just mentioned, anyone using the term does not have any rights in the inferior courts, such as county superior courts, except Aboriginals, Moors, or Moors Hindus. I'm believing it should have a comma right there. So it says any other term is just a franchise classification used by the United States to financially and legally control its citizens. Again, the 14th Amendment of the Constitution allegedly claims to have been ratified on July 9, 1868, granting citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, which included former slaves recently freed. How is this possible? In 1866, everyone, regardless of skin color, was already free and actual citizens of the United States of America in Congress Assembly. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 explains that everyone held citizenship within the Republic Confederacy and is, in fact, the written legislation that encouraged the 14th Amendment in association with the Organic Act of 1871. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the House of America in Congress assembled, that all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, including Indians not taxed, are hereby are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States, and such citizens of every race and color, without regard to any previous condition of slavery or involuntary servitude. 39th Congress, Session 1, Chapter 31. April 9th, 1866. Chapter 31. An act to protect all persons in the United States in their civil rights and furnish the means of their vindication. The first document a U.S. citizen, U.S. national, state citizen, or legal permanent resident could file to correct their commercial status with the federal government is the United States passport application, known as the DS-11. In Chapter 2, the acts or conditions were explained in detail. It requires a supplementary explanatory statement under oath or affirmation from the applicant should be attached and made a part of the application. An affidavit stating the affiant's nationality must be attached to the application before it is delivered to a passport agent. In all actuality, the departure of Secretary of State, the Department, I don't know what I'm seeing today, y'all. The Department of Secretary of State website at travel.state.gov provides concise instructions on how to complete the application as a national correctly. The government cannot force U.S. citizenship on anyone owing taxes. They will always provide a way for equity if one has eyes to see and ears to hear. According to the Secretary of State of the District of Columbia, the Department of State occasionally receives requests for certificates of non-citizen national status according to Section 341B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA. 8 U.S.C. 1452b. As defined by the INA, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but only a relatively small number of persons acquire U.S. nationality without becoming a U.S. citizens or becoming U.S. citizens. Section 101A21 of the INA defines the term national as a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Section 101A22 of the INA provides that the term national of the United States includes the U.S. citizen as well as persons who, though not citizens of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States non-citizen nationals. As the department has received few requests, there is no justification for creating a non-citizen national certificate. Designing a separate document that includes an anti-fraud mechanism was seen as an inefficient expenditure of resources. Therefore, the department determined that those who would be eligible to apply for such a certificate may instead apply for the United States passport that would delineate and certify their status as a national but not a citizen of the United States. Y'all hearing this? Okay. Um, so y'all see a passport picture, right? It says if a person believes he or she is eligible under the law as a non-citizen national of the United States and the person complies with the provisions of Section 31B of the INA, Title 8 USC 1452B, she may apply for a passport in any passport agency in the United States. When applying, applicants must execute a Form DS 11 and show documentary proof of their non-citizen national status as well as their identity. B. A person who claims to be a national but not a citizen of the United States may apply to the Secretary of State for a certificate of non-citizen national status upon one, proof of the satisfaction of the Secretary of State that the applicant is a national but not a citizen of the United States, and two, in the case of a non-citizen national born outside of the United States, of its outlying possessions, taking and subscribing before an immigration officer within the United States or its outlying possessions, the to the oath of allegiance required of an applicant for naturalization. Section 341B of the Immigration and Nationality Act. The Department of State is very precise with the procedure of being classified as a national. Applicants are applying for a certificate of non-citizen national status via Form DS-11 and in return will receive a United States of America passport listed as a national but not a citizen of the United States. A national of the United States and a citizen of the United States are the same per U. Title 8 USC 1101, subsection 1101, section A22. It is not to be mistaken with a national but not a citizen of the United States. The wordplay can be very deceiving if not different. Section 341B requires that the applicant, mostly foreign nationals from other countries, who may be visiting on a 6-month stay using a visa, must prove that they're indeed a national and declare their allegiance to a state via affidavit before an immigration officer or naturalization. For naturalization. This is one of the main benefits. An irrevocable foreign express trust is registered with the probate court, superior court, or county recorder's office. Inside the schedule of minutes, the settlor can declare its allegiance, held by the trustees, and recorded with the clerk of courts. The term clerk of courts means a naturalization court clerk, an oath swearing officer identical to an immigration officer. Once the express trust and its minutes are recorded, the settlor applicant has proof to satisfy the Secretary of State of its lawful requirements to apply for the U.S. passport and receive its certificate of non-citizen national status without the need to receive a green card. The schedule of minutes would also serve as the supplemental explanatory statement as stated in the Acts or Conditions section of the GS-11. The Department of State reveals that no one is a U.S. citizen by birth, but only through ignorance and misapplied information. Section 308 of the Immigration and Nationality Act states, unless otherwise provided in Section 301 of this title, the following shall be nationals but not citizens of the United States at birth. 2. A person born outside the United States and its outlying possessions of parents, both of whom are nationals but not citizens of the United States and have had a residence in the United States or one of its outlying possessions prior to the birth of such person. The oath that the applicant must declare inside the schedule of minutes recorded with the clerk of court is found in Section 302 of Public Law 94-241, which pertains to any existing alleged U.S. citizen seeking to correct their status. It reads, any person who becomes a citizen of the United States solely by virtue of the provisions in Section 301 may, within 6 months after the effective date of that section or within 6 months after receiving or reaching the age of 18 years, whichever date is later, become a national but not a citizen of the United States by making a declaration under oath before any court established by the Constitution or laws of the United States or any other court of record in the Commonwealth in the form as follows. I, being duly sworn, hereby declare my intention to be a national, but not a citizen of the United States. When applying for a certificate of non-citizen national status, it is wise to apply for both the passport card and passport book. As laws in the United States become even more strenuous regarding real ID, having a passport card would resolve the need for a real ID altogether. As a national, one will be able to travel anywhere with the United States of America as well. Within the United States of America, as well as having the ability to operate an automobile and have access to federal buildings without having to elect that one is in without having to elect that one is a U.S. citizen within the Department of Motor Vehicles using a state ID or driver's license. Here is how to complete the entire DS-11 as a national, but not a citizen of the United States. Note the exact punctuation must be used, including information within brackets. Part 1 of 2. Box 1, you'll put your name, last, will equal Smith in all lowercase. Your first name will be John, all lowercase. Your middle name is Doe, lowercase. Box 2, date of birth. Put your date of birth there. Okay. Box 3, sex. You put male or female. Box 4, place of birth. Pasadena, California, United States of America. As you can see, it's in lowercase. Okay. I need you guys to pay attention. Box 4, place of birth. If born in another country, Municipality of Medellin, Republic of Colombia. Box 5, social security number. Okay, so you put your social security number there. Note, even though the social security number is the number attached to the ens legis, also known as a commercial avatar, to do business in a fictitious system, the Department of State needs the number to update the U.S. citizen's status to a national successfully. I hope y'all hearing this. Box 5, social security number. Note, if born outside the U.S. and the applicant never received an SSN, ITIN, enter 9 zeros. Box 6, email. Provide any email to receive notifications for approval or rejection of the application. Box 7, primary phone number. Enter a valid number if the Department of State needs to verify any information quickly. Box 8, mailing address. Line 1, in care of. You're going to put the numbers in brackets. You're going to put the street name, as you can see here, in lowercase. Main Street, apartment 777. The city is going to be in lowercase, Los Angeles. Your state will be in brackets, as you can see. Okay. Your zip code will be all zeros in brackets, okay? Country is going to be California, USA, okay? In lowercase in brackets. If any other names are used, such as maiden, previous marriage, or legal name change, provide here in all lowercase on box 9, okay? Stop. Continue to page 2. Page 2 of 2. Name of applicant, you're going to put your name with your surname, comma, your first and middle name, all in lowercase, okay? Then you put your date of birth. For box 10, you'll put parental information, mother's first and middle will be her first and middle name in lowercase. Her last name, as you can see here, lowercase. Box 10, date of birth, mother, we'll put the mother's date of birth. Box 10, place of birth, if born within the U.S., you're going to put Arkansas, United States of America, okay? Box 10, place of birth. If mother was born outside of the U.S. or outlying possessions, you'll put that, whatever it is, Bogota, Republic of Colombia, whatever it is, okay? So Box 10, you're going to put, for the sex, you'll put F or M for male. Box 10 for U.S. citizen. You always want to check no, okay? For yourself, for your parents, or anytime you see that question about are you a U.S. citizen, you're going to check no. Oh, fuck. I hate when that happens. Excuse my language, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So you got box 10 again for the last name of the father. Same format as the mother, okay? So I'll skip to box 12. No, let's go to box 11. It says, if the applicant has ever been married, check yes and provide the spouse information, always in lowercase, and check no to U.S. citizen, okay? Box 12, you're going to skip. For box 13, occupation, you're going to put a minister. I think I told you I just became an ordained minister the other day. Voila. Now you guys know why. Box 14, employer or school. You put God, Elohim, okay? Skip 15, 16, 17, 18. For 19, permanent address per per UCC 9-307. Location of debtor. B. 1. A debtor who is an individual is located at the individual's principal residence. Therefore, entering an address with the Internal Revenue District, such as a house number, street name, and zip code, will re-enter the applicant back into the jurisdiction of the United States as a U.S. citizen again. Enter the address as rural-free delivery, a service that began in the United States in the late 19th century to deliver mail directly to rural farm families before the 7 types of land were established as residential, institutional, industrial, road, greenbelt, roadside, park, and forest. It was known as rural farmland in care of rural free delivery. No appoint, no apartment, no unit. Okay. For your city, you want to put the city there in lowercase. For the state, you want to put it in brackets, lowercase. For the zip code, all zeros, 5 zeros in brackets. Okay, box 19. Note if the applicant is not from this country, the address must be a rural free delivery address within the United States of America to meet the requirement of INA 341B. Box 20. Emergency contact. Enter the name of anyone within close contact, providing full name, phone, relationship, and address in the lowercase spelling with street number, state, and zip code in brackets. The zip code should be all zeros as well. Okay, box 21. Have you ever applied for a U.S. passport or a pass card? If yes, provide the full name in the lowercase and the book or card or both numbers, including its issued date. Referring back to page 1 of 2, stop. Continue to page 2, section. The passport agent will complete this section on behalf of the applicant upon receiving satisfaction of identity, any state ID, current valid U.S. passport, birth certificate, visa document, or lawful permanent resident ID. If the applicant is a national from overseas and currently has a valid visa, it is optional to apply for a temporary state driver's license as a means to satisfy proof of identity before applying for U.S. passport. Once the passport agent has received adequate identifying documentation, they will enter the identifying information and request the applicant's signature. The passport agent will act as a witness that the applicant is signing under penalty of perjury to the terms and conditions listed above the signature line. It is essential that the applicant read the terms and conditions carefully before signing and before the passport agent provide their seal of approval. There is an additional small detail the applicant must update inside of the terms and conditions to apply for a certificate of non-citizen national status properly. The contents are as follows. I declare under penalty of perjury of the following. I am a citizen or non-citizen national of the United States and have not, since acquiring U.S. citizenship or nationality, performed any of the acts listed under acts or conditions on page 4 of the instructions of this application unless explanatory statement is attached. Number 2, the statement made on the application are true and correct. 3, I have not, I have not knowingly and willfully made false statements or included false documents in support of this application. 4, the photograph attached to this application is a genuine current photograph of me, and I have read and understand the warning on page 1 of the instructions to the application form. The subtle change that must occur is the crossing out of the word national in the terms and conditions so that it reads, I am a citizen or non-citizen of the United States. The word play is very cunning. Remember, a non-citizen national of the United States is the same as a U.S. citizen or U.S. national per Title 8 U.S. Code 1101, definition, section 22. As the applicant provides their signature on the required line before the passport agent, they must sign in this manner with your surname first, then your first name and middle name. Then you'll put without the U.S. on it, okay? The final part of the application is drafting the supplemental explanatory statement to attach to the application. The following is a word for word template that has been used with 100% approval rate. Assume the applicant is a foreign national born in Colombia, currently living in South Florida. This explanatory statement works hand in hand with the express trust and its scheduled minutes that will be detailed in the next chapter. In this template, the 1838 Florida Constitution is used and should be replaced with the applicant's pre-1933 state constitution pertaining to where they live. Note: the explanatory statement will consist of 5 to 6 pages. Begin each page with a top header in red lettering and state on the following page. These explanatory statements are to remain with and attached to the passport application in order for the passport application to be true and correct under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America. Passport explanatory statement. These explanatory statements are done based upon my religious instructions and beliefs and as required by the acts or conditions listed in the instructions or on page 4. Take equitable notice of my unalienable religious instructions and beliefs protected by the 1838 Florida Constitution, Article 1, Declaration of Rights, Section 2 of the United States, and declare my affidavit of denial of U.S. 28 U.S. Code 3002 15A citizenship pursuant to the Baby Act, and pursuant to the 39th Congress, Session 1, Chapter 31, page 27, Civil Rights Act of 1866, enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, and declaration of being a more free inhabitant and native Colombian national, but not a citizen of the United States or United States national. Let me go back and read this again. It says let me go back. The Baby Act, pursuant to the Baby Act and pursuant to the 39th Congress Session 1, Chapter 31, page 27. It says Civil Rights Act of 1866, enacted by the Senate and House Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, and declaration of being a more free inhabitant and native Colombian national, but not a citizen of the United States or United States national. The Constitution of United United States of America, 1789. Let me pause and clear my throat, please. How y'all feel about what's being said? We've been having some heated discussions about this lately. Abel, Texas says Shay Marie in 1971 removed the value of the dollar. So now it's all debt. I hate him with all my soul. Why do you hate him? It was already debt. And he didn't you know what I'm saying? We weren't supposed to have Federal Reserve notes. It was fiat currency to begin with. So we should need to go back further than 1971, Abel, Texas. We gotta go back to like 1933 or before, way before then. Okay. And at the end of the day, we can't get emotional about this shit anymore. We just gotta do what we need to do to correct the wrongs that have been done. Abel, Texas says, Shay Marie, let me borrow $1,000. I might have to put Abel, Texas in time out for a minute. You let me borrow $1,000. What the hell? The fuck is really wrong with people? Yeah, I'm about to put this Negro or whoever the fuck he is in time out. Then if he fuck up again, I'm gonna put his ass in a block. All right. My moderators, what y'all doing? Let me see. Where my moderators at? Mr. Somebody. Let me go to the channel. Let me check y'all out right quick because I need to make sure my moderators doing what they do. We got people in here asking to borrow money and shit. Greetings, Hair Slayer for Justice. Please excuse my language, y'all. I just be having to keep control of my platform. Like, people be doing the most sometimes, and I don't tolerate that shit. I used to tolerate it, but I don't tolerate that shit no more because I don't go on people's shit, you know what I'm saying, being a troll. I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so moving on. If I change this page one more time. All right. So it says the Constitution of the United States of America, 1789, Article 5, Section 1 states, full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state, and the Congress may, by general law, prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved and the effect thereof. Therefore, the 1877 Georgia Constitution, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 4, Paragraph 1 states, laws of a general nature shall have uniform operation throughout the state, and no special law shall be enacted in any case for which provision has been made by an existing general law. No general law affecting private rights shall be varied in any particular case by special legislation, except with the free consent in writing of all persons to be affected thereby, and no person under legal disability to contract is capable of such consent. Shall apply to my explanatory. So this is what you want to put in your explanatory statements. This shall apply to your explanatory statements. These explanatory statements are to remain within with and attached to the passport application in order for the passport application to be true and correct under the penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America. Take equitable notice. Each state retains its sovereignty, freedom, and independence, and every power, jurisdiction, and right, which is not by this Confederation expressly delegated to the United States and Congress assembled per Article 2 of the Articles of Confederation. 1. You want to put your last name, for comma, first name, and middle name. Doing business as your first, middle name, and last name. Under declaration of the name of your express trust, DTD, which would be the date of your trust was started or initiated, hereby and forever state, claim, and declare I am not, nor have I ever been, a U.S. citizen or U.S. national. I declare that my name is last name, comma, first name, middle name. Doing business as first name, middle name, last name. And I am a Moor, free inhabitant, and native Colombian national, but not a citizen of the United States, domiciled in Florida. Note, if applicant is born in the USA, the following statement applies. I declare that my name is last name, first name, middle name, doing business as first name, middle name, last name. I am a Moor, free inhabitant, native Floridian national, but not a citizen of the United States, domiciled in Florida. See copy 2016 GPO State Style Manual, page 995. Continuing on, it says, take equitable notice. I am not a 14th Amendment federal citizen ratified in 1868, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The U.S. State Department may recognize me as a Moor of Aboriginal Colombian national, but not as a citizen of the United States. Not only if the applicant is formally known as Hispanic, Latino, Black, American, Indian, or African American, if any other nationality provide it instead. For example, an Italian national or Israeli national or Dutch national. In addition, my right to a certificate of non-citizen national status and or United States of America. These explanatory statements are to remain with and attached to the passport application in order for the passport application to be true and correct under penalty of perjury, the law of the United States of America. Passport comes from my natural born right, being born in Medellin, Republic of Colombia, and my oath of allegiance taken before the Broward County, Florida Clerk of Circuit and County Clerk, a sworn immigration officer, lawfully stated in Public Law 99-396, August 27, 1986, 100 Stat 843, Section 16, A, Section 341 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, USC 1452, is amended. B. A person who claims to be a national but not a citizen of the United States may apply to the Secretary of State for a certificate of non-citizen national status. Upon these explanatory statements are to remain within and attached to the passport application, blah 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 blah. We already know. So it says, take equitable notice that pursuant to 1877 Georgia Constitution as ratified without subsequent amendments, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 4, Paragraph 1, laws of a general nature shall have uniform operation throughout the state, and no special law shall be enacted in any case for which provision has been made by an existing general law. No general law affecting private rights shall be varied in any particular case by special legislation, except with the free consent in writing of all persons to be affected thereby, and no person under legal disability to contract is capable of such consent or consent. Paragraph 2. Legislative acts in violation of this Constitution or the Constitution of the United States are void, and the judiciary shall so declare them. And take further notice that I, your last name, comma, first name, middle name, the settler, state that the name express trust. Okay, so it'll be state that the name express trust TD DTD with the date that your trust started is the first lien holder of the 14th Amendment person, which will be the last name in all caps, first name, middle name, corp. So DBA, uh, then it'll be your first name, middle name, last name. Did not consent for me or my private property to being a 14th Amendment citizen of the United States or the U.S. or state of Florida or any state in writing or any other consent. And take further notice that this is a contract. Failure to answer and rebut this affidavit is acquiescence, allowing you 72 hours to answer. Then this contract is law. These explanatory statements are true. Are to remain with and attached to the passport application in order for this passport application to be true, blah 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 blah. Okay. So this needs to be on every page. This like big wording here. Then it says I, with your last name, comma, first name, middle name, declare and let it be known by all immigration clerks and the Secretary of State, Supreme Court judge, and clerks for now and forever. I am a more Aboriginal Colombian national. Note, enter other nationalities here, but not a citizen of the United States or a United States national, nor will ever be a U.S. citizen or U.S. national. You have 3 days to bring forth your proof that I am. Rescission of signatures. Take notice that I am not a statutory citizen and make no claim of statutory citizenship requested by any state or federal government. I hereby extinguish, rescind, revoke, cancel, abrogate, annul, nullify, discharge, and make void ab initio all signatures belonging to me on all previously filed SS5 Internal Revenue Service W4 forms, W2 forms, USCIS forms, Florida application, DMV forms, all federal and state income tax forms, if any and all powers of attorney, real and or implied, connected thereto, on the grounds that my purported consent was voluntary and freely obtained, but was made through mistake, duress, fraud, and undue influence exercised by any or all governments, state or federal, any agency and or employers pursuant to the contract law. All previously signed federal and state forms are hereby extinguished by these rescissions. All alleged consent is null and void as it was written or as it was given under duress, by mistake, and or by fraud, notwithstanding any information which you may have to the contrary, and any forms that have been filed and any implied quasi contracts that you may have with me were filed illegally and unlawfully and are without force and or effort. So again, these explanatory statements are true because it's a new page. It says, I further revoke, rescind, and remake void ab initio all powers of attorney pertaining to me from any and all governmental quasi-colorable agencies and or departments created under the authority of Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, and or Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 of the Constitution for the United States of America. I preserve all my unalienable rights that are inherent from my Creator at all times. This application is done based upon my religious instructions and beliefs under the name Express Trust DTD with the date the trust was created, the common law jurisdiction of Florida. Note your state country. The Treaty of Marrakesh, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and the County of the United States of America. Acts or conditions. I have taken an oath and made an affirmation, formal declaration of allegiance to a foreign state and made a formal renunciation of nationality in the United States. Furthermore, I have not been convicted of a federal or state drug or offense or convicted of a sex tourism crime statute, and I am not the subject of an outstanding federal, state, or local warrant of arrest for a felony, a criminal court order forbidding my departure from the United States, a subpoena received from the United States in a matter involving federal prosecution for or grand jury investigation of a felony. Okay, so then again, these explanatory statements, new page. It says attached exhibits, declaration of express trust, certificate of title, which will be your birth certificate, public law 99-396, August 27, 1986, 100 statute 837 through 847. Okay. Note, if applicant is born in the USA, include copy of 2016 GPO style manual 1 through 4, 13, and 95. Note, if applicant is born outside the USA, the jurat is as follows. I, with your last name, first name, middle name, born in the land of Bogota, Republic of Colombia, South America, declare or certify, verify, or state under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America, 28 U.S.C. Code 1746-1, that I, the last name, comma, first name, middle name, um, being duly sworn, hereby declare my intention to be a national, but not a citizen of the United States. Public Law 99-396, August 27, 1986, 100 Stat 843, Section 16B1 2. And the foregoing is true and correct. Note, if applicant is born in the United States or USA, the jurat is as follows. Okay. Let me take a break right quick. All right, y'all. My bad. I needed to drink some water. My eyes were getting heavy. I think it's because I'm in this hot room and I can't put the fan on because if I put the fan on, then it's going to kind of like interfere with the sound. Okay, so moving forward, it says executed this day, the month of 2021 or whatever date, 2022. You want to sign it, and under your signature, you're going to sign it with your last name, comma, first, middle, without the U.S., and you're going to sign it that same way. This concludes the supplementary explanatory statement. The last page includes a certificate of acknowledgement signed, sealed, and dated by a valid notary. The passport application, the explanatory statement, and the attachments and the proper identifying documents are needed to correct the applicant's commercial status. Once the applicant has received the U.S. passport, card, or book, it is time to submit a Freedom of Information FOIA request to the Department of State. The Privacy Act allows an applicant to obtain copies of their records. The FOIA request would have the Department of State return a certified copy of each page of the passport application, which in turn is the actual certificate of non-citizen national status. This certification is the actual document that would be provided with the corrected SS5 form mentioned in Chapter 2. The applicant needs to draft an affidavit providing the following information per travel.state.gov. You want to give your full name at birth and any name changes of the individual whose records are being requested, and if there are records for children or using an authorization, provide the full name as well. Oh God. You want to put the date and place of birth of the individual whose records are requested, mailing address, date, time, phone number, email address if available, date or estimated date of passport issuance, passport number if known, and if any other information that will help the Department of State locate the records, preferably the passport application locator number. An exact copy of both sides of a valid government issued photo identification, such as a driver's license, state ID, or temporary driver's license. Sign and date a FOIA affidavit request with the following statement. You want to say I with your last name, comma, first name, middle name. Declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America, 28 U.S.C. 1746(1) that the foregoing is true and correct. Provide a $50 money order made payable to the U.S. Department of State to mail to the U.S. Department of State. Office of Law Enforcement Liaison, FOIA Officer, 44-132 Mercer Circuit or Circle, P.O. Box 1227, Sterling. Hold on one second, y'all.